So, Erica, here's a question for you. Why would anyone hire a Lux firm like Spring Insight when there are so many less expensive options like Fiverr or a nephew who works for candy bars?
Such a great question. And I think it's a great question, first of all, because of course it's a topic that we love to talk about where our value is, but also because the actual answer is for some organizations, your nephew who works for candy bars is a great option. So let's get into that. Let's talk about that.
Do it.
My name is Erica Dickstein, and I'm here with my colleague Laura Mayer, and that's what we're here to chat about today. Is when is a Fiverr like or a less expensive solution the right thing for your organization, and when should you invest in a more luxe firm, as we're calling it?
So, what do you think, Erica? When is a little quickly built Fiverr site or something with AI? When are those little template sites just fine?
To me, the places where an organization is brand new. They don't yet sort of they don't yet really know and understand their offering. They sort of have something that they're playing with, but haven't really settled on it. They aren't that's one example. Another is the kind of organization, let's say a restaurant or in the services where in the trades where you wouldn't necessarily make the decision based on something you're reading on the website, right? You're looking at it just to kind of get the phone number, et cetera, et cetera. Those are times and places where, or you're starting out and plainly speaking, you don't have the money for a more luxe site. Those are places where, you know what? Don't wait. Don't overinvest at the beginning. Get yourself something simple, get yourself started, just get yourself up so that you can start earning the money to be able to afford the bigger website.
Yeah, for sure. Well, so then when does an organization need a Lux firm?
So
When is
to
it worth the
me,
investment?
that's when the site is more established, and particularly when they start to have a voice, when they want to be the subject matter expert, when they want people to listen to them and really to have the credibility. They need to build the site that will not just look like everybody else's site, that won't have the same templated look, but that actually represents them organizationally. But also when they're ready to work with a firm who is going to be side by side with them to help them draw that message out and create that.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that's some of the greatest value that working with a firm like us at Spring Insight helps is we really help develop that voice and that message. And we help our subject matter experts know what they don't know as far as strategies and implementation and cross branding ourselves across channels. So, but with that said, what do you think are some of the hidden risks if someone goes with a cheaper option when they really need a more comprehensive solution?
The biggest one that I think is, it's similar to when you buy a suit that's off the rack and you haven't done any of the alterations, right? You walk
Mm-hmm.
in big event where you're doing your big pitch and you don't quite look like you're wearing your own clothes. You're too big in the shoulders and maybe too tight in the waist or whatever. It just doesn't quite fit. So in terms of, I think that's the risk. And I think you end up, particularly when you are one of these firms that really needs to have a more professional presence, you end up just investing in another site sooner than you perhaps wanted to because you've made an investment in this less expensive. The investment, not by the way, and the investment not just of money but of time to put that
Mm-hmm.
together, and then it doesn't quite fit, so you end up spending a lot of time trying to get it to fit, trying to get it to work for you, and then you end up having to make a new one anyway.
So great information, Erica. So, what advice do you have for an organization? How do they decide what's right for them?
I think the first question you need to ask yourself is your website critical to your sales process? Like,
Yeah.
and be honest about it. Like, okay, we talked about the trades earlier. Is somebody really going to decide on a house painter based on the website? Probably not, right? they might actually go on and they might go for phone numbers, but they're probably listening to their next door neighbor who just got the house painted and are looking at their walls, right? So what part does your sales your website play in that sales process? And is there a risk that you're losing people that you don't even know about? That's one that we
Right.
hear, that we know a lot of our clients, they say, well, nobody ever hires us from our website. Right. But who are the people who are leaving because they don't have faith in you organizationally, because you don't sort of have the site that they're expecting? Continuing on with those questions, does your messaging and your content matter? Are people looking sort of to better understand you from that web content? And then finally, are you ready to invest in long-term growth, or do you just need to get something up, right? Are you ready to are you creating your next iteration today and growing into it? Or, and this is the case, and that's perfectly okay for a lot of organizations, no, this is where I am today, and I just got to, I'm grinding and I need this up today.
Yeah, I'd say I'd give a little plug for us having a more comprehensive firm even take a look at the beginning. If maybe not building the site with you from the beginning, but even just to give you an audit or sort of a quick, hey, heads up, you only need, this right now, but let's go ahead and put in the plumbing and the electrical so you can add these back end pieces later and make it easier.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. And you know what? I say this all the time to people who aren't ready for us. One of our audits, or where we talk to you about those sorts of things, those are free, and it isn't. If you're a small firm and you're like, well, I'm not ready for the spring insight of the world,
Right.
exactly. Feel free to reach out. We're always happy to talk and chat with organizations who are, as I have called them before, pre-clients, that aren't ready for us yet, but that we sort of get to know and say, okay, on your first site that you're not building with us, be sure you think about these sorts of things just to kind of tide you over, right? So
Mhm.
that's a great point, Laura. So wrapping us up here, I think where I would leave everybody is saying, it's important not to underinvest, which is, I think, something that we talk a lot with organizations about. Hey, but also don't overinvest, right? It's really about figuring out what is it that you need from your site today and investing the right amount to make sure that you're ready, for tomorrow. And if you're looking to be next year, the year after that, et cetera, et cetera. And Laura, thank you so much for joining me today to chat about this. It is
Oh,
always a
anytime.
treat to talk to you. And everybody who's watching this, if you have enjoyed this video, I really hope that you will like it, and I hope you will subscribe. We put out new content very regularly. And if you are thinking about a new website or a marketing program for your organization, or you want to just chat with us, as I mentioned, that we're always happy to chat with people, please go to our website, springinsight.com, and sign up for a consultation. Bye, everybody.